All right, welcome everyone, and thank you so much for being here with us this evening. My name is Kimberly McCullough, and I serve as the Assistant Director for Diversity and Access within the Office of Undergraduate Admissions at UNC Charlotte. That is a fancy title, simply to say that I work primarily with our underserved student populations, those who come from multicultural backgrounds, low income, rural, or who are first generation college students, so the first in their families to obtain a 4-year degree. I'm excited to talk to you all today, just mostly about the resources that are available at UNC Charlotte, and also what your next steps would look like as a potential future 49er with us. We also have some of our awesome student leaders who are called Niner Guides on campus. So they'll be able to speak more about their experiences as a student, as well as take you through a virtual campus tour. So before we get started, I do want to go ahead and bring on all of our guides to just quickly introduce themselves, and then we'll get started with our information session.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tassan Dover. I'm currently a senior at UC Charlotte, and I'm majoring in psychology.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kayla. I'm a senior health systems management and public health double major, and I'm from Irmo, South Carolina.
All right. Thank you all so much. So we're so excited to hear from Tassan and Kayla, and Abby is also out there. So please feel free, once again, if you have any questions for us as we go along, you can type those in the Q&A feature that's found by toggling at the bottom of your screen. But I will go ahead and get started with tonight's presentation. So once again, to all my Black Achievers out there, thank you so much for being here, and welcome to Niner Nation. When we start these presentations, we usually like to tell students and families and parents and teachers just a little bit more about who we are as a university. So at UNC Charlotte, we are known as North Carolina's Urban Research University. And what exactly does that mean to you all as prospective students? It means that we are able to allow our undergraduate students to engage in graduate level research during their time with us. So no matter what your major is, if you're interested in studying a particular topic or field a little bit more in depth, we are able to connect you with faculty members who have research experience in those areas. In addition, we're known as the state's fastest growing university. So in the past 7 years, we built 22 new buildings on campus, all of which are with our students in mind. We recently just opened our new student recreation center. It's 148,000 square feet of workout space. There's cooking demonstration kitchens, an indoor and outdoor pool. So a lot of cool amenities that are put in place for our students on campus to have that more enhanced social experience. Now, another thing that makes us unique as a university is the addition of our light rail. So for those who aren't familiar, the light rail is essentially an above ground subway system. So this is free for all of our students. All you have to do is flash your Niner ID card and you are on. So the light rail does go through popular neighborhoods in Charlotte, like Noda and Plaza Midwood, which are the arts districts. And it will also take our students into what's called Uptown. So in Charlotte, we call our downtown Uptown because it sits up on a hill in the city. This is a great way for our students to get to those internships and jobs that they have outside of class. In addition, if you just want to simply explore the city a little bit more in depth, you are able to do that. So the light rail does stop on our campus 107 times a day, so you can't miss it. But I think the thing that makes us the most unique as a university is our student body themselves. So at UNC Charlotte, we are the second largest public institution in the state of North Carolina with just over 30,000 students on campus. So that sounds like a lot, but I'm going to break down those numbers for you all in just a little bit. But I do believe the university does a great job of making students still feel that small college feel. If you all have ever visited campus, you'll notice that it's very residential. There's not any major roads or highways that cut through the campus. So our students really do have that sense of community and belonging, especially with the clubs and organizations that are represented on campus. But I mentioned that I was going to break down that 30,000 number because it sounds like a lot. But again, really emphasizing the diversity that's available at UNC Charlotte. As one of the most diverse public colleges in the state of North Carolina, we do have students that hail from over 87 countries and 49 states. The only state that is not represented is Utah. I just recently found that out. And about 40% of our students identify as coming from an underrepresented population. So as I mentioned earlier, this includes low income students, those from rural areas, those of a multicultural background, as well as first generation college students. Now, I like to highlight that for students because not only are you able to learn from your professors on campus, but also from your peers, because they bring that diverse perspective to the campus as a whole, to really allow you to gain a better perspective on the world around you. Now, next, we'll talk briefly about the academic colleges that we have here at UNC Charlotte. So at UNC Charlotte, we do have 171 majors that students can choose from, which is a lot. And we break those up into groupings called academic colleges. So on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see just various academic colleges that house our different majors. So it can range from anything from communications to criminal justice, dance, music, and theater, arts and architecture. We also have business programs, including business analytics, which is a really cool way to take a managerial approach to the IT world. We have our Cato College of Education for those who are interested in being future educators. We do have an early childhood and family development major that's pretty popular for our students. Also, if you're interested in computer science, we do have bachelor's of science and bachelor's of arts options for students. So if you're interested in AI, artificial intelligence, robotics, gaming, and design, we do have those offerings for you. One of our most popular and competitive majors is nursing on campus, which is a hot ticket item for a lot of students who are coming to college. So we do have the nursing program for students in addition to public health, exercise science, health systems management, as well as a host of engineering programs. So if you're interested in mechanical, electrical, systems, civil engineering, we do have all of those offerings for you. Now, I do want to highlight for you all in terms of a major perspective, if any of you all are interested in business, nursing, computer science, or engineering, please note that those are our competitive majors at the university. And when I say competitive, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's harder to get into, but there are additional academic criteria that a student must meet in order to be admissible into that program. But either way, we do assess students' applications for admissibility into both the university and your major. So if you are admissible into UNC Charlotte, but right now you're not competitive for business, for example, we will still admit you as an undecided student, and you'll work with an academic advisor to get you on track to declare that major. And if you are completely undecided, which is perfectly fine, it's definitely understandable with all of the majors that we offer. We have a really cool program called University College that allows students to be paired up with an advisor who will help them take different career aptitude tests and assessments to really get you on your way to understanding what your interests are so that you can declare that major your sophomore year. But moving on, again, I mentioned that although we are a large university, we do have that small college feel. And one of the ways that we ensure that for our students is through our small class sizes. So at UNC Charlotte, our average class size is around 35 students, which is phenomenal, being the second largest university in North Carolina. And we also have a 19-to-1 student to faculty ratio, which pretty much means for every 19 students that there are on campus, there is one faculty member who's available to teach them. So this is a wonderful way for you all to feel more comfortable in the classrooms, to ask questions, form study groups, and really have a better understanding of the material that you're learning in the classroom. So another way that we like for students to really apply the knowledge that they're learning in the classroom is through experiential education. So for those who aren't aware, experiential education is simply a way for you to apply the knowledge that you're learning in the classroom into a real world setting. So this can be in the form of internships, study abroad, or co-ops, which are pretty much extended semester-long internships. But on the screen here, you'll see just a few of the companies that our students have gone on to either work for or intern for during their time with us. Being in Charlotte, we are very fortunate since Charlotte is the second leading banking city in the United States. So we are home to 7 Fortune 500 companies who have headquarters and over 300 that have a presence in the city. So our students love being able to have that connection to the city at large, but still having that residential and home feeling right here on campus. So next, I really want to highlight for you all our student resources and support services on campus. I think it's important to highlight that college is a transition in every sense of the word. So you do want to make sure that you're supported at every single level, whether that's academically, socially, emotionally. So on the screen here, you'll see just a few of the support services that we offer for students. I will highlight a few for you, being UTOP, our University Transition Opportunities Program. Highly recommend this program for students who are interested in getting a head start on their college classes, but also who are interested in having that small, close-knit cohort setting before you actually get to campus and start during your fall semester. I did a similar program when I was going off to college, and it really taught me the value of time management skills, which is something that you don't really learn until it just hits you. So highly recommend taking advantage of a summer bridge program, and specifically UTOP at UNC Charlotte. We also have our SAFE program, Student Advising for Freshman Excellence. So if at any point in time you're interested in being paired up with a mentor and want to learn just the ropes about the university and some of the hot spots that are on campus, that is a great program to engage in. We have our University Career Center. If you ever need help building your resume or doing some mock interviews before that big internship interview, that is the office that you definitely want to make sure that you're reaching out to. And lastly, I'll highlight our Office of Identity, Equity, and Engagement. This is a wonderful office and department on our campus that allows our students to have safe zone trainings and really just learn more about the nuances that affect our generation today. So again, highly recommend that you all do more research into the support services that are available for you on campus. But that is one of the most important pieces when you go off to college, is just making sure that you're supported in every sense of your transition. So we talked all about the university. Next, I want to go into the process of what it takes to become a 49er with us. Now, it looks like that we have a mix of juniors and seniors in the room. So please note that I'll delegate which information is going to be pertinent to our seniors and then our juniors. But to start off, we definitely want to make sure that you all are on track per North Carolina standards to graduate with the minimum course requirements. So in order to be admissible into UNC Charlotte, students must have 4 units of math and English, 3 units of science, 2 units of a social science, and 2 units of the same foreign language. So you cannot take Spanish 1 and French 1 and that satisfy the requirement. They must be consecutive. Spanish 1, Spanish 2, German 1, German 2, American Sign Language 1 and 2, etc. But please note what it says at the bottom of the screen. Take more. We like to see when students are challenging themselves. So if you know you're not necessarily the best in English, maybe consider taking an honors or AP math or science. That way we know that you are definitely getting out there and making sure that you're challenging yourself in the best way possible. Now, for those who are interested in our engineering program, again, definitely want to make that you have at least pre-calculus as your highest math. That's an important part of the curriculum at UNC Charlotte through our engineering program, is that you have that math competency. All right, so we get the question all the time, what do I need to have in order to be admitted as a student? Now, we don't have set minimums or averages that you must have, but this will give you all a good indication of what a competitive application looks like. So that's a 3.7 to 4.3 weighted GPA, and a 3.3 to 3.8 unweighted GPA. Now, for my seniors who are in the room today, you all can ignore the SAT and ACT averages that are posted on the screen. Those have been waived for our 2021 application cycle. For my juniors in the room, we understand that in this climate right now, it's very hard to get in for an SAT or ACT. So I wouldn't stress about registering for one right away. We'll definitely have that conversation with you all when the time comes for you to apply your senior year. Now, I don't want these numbers to scare you at all. Please note that this is the middle 50% range of our freshman class who was admitted last year. So we have admitted students that fall 25% above and below these averages. So definitely recommend that if you are interested in UNC Charlotte and maybe you don't quite meet those middle 50% ranges, there are still opportunities for you to become a 49er with us. Now, if any of you all are interested in any of our competitive majors, again, those are business, nursing, computer science, or engineering, you do want to strive to be on the mid to upper ends of these middle 50% ranges. All right, so for my seniors in the room, this is going to be the most important information for you. For juniors, this information may change by the time that you go to apply, but we did waive the SAT and ACT requirement for the 2021 application cycle. So now the required materials are the online application itself, the application fee or fee waiver, and you would ask your guidance counselor if you qualify for a fee waiver, the official transcript, as well as an essay. So there's about 7 Common App essay prompts that students can choose from. So that's something that can be found on our website if you are interested in applying. Now, optional are the SAT, ACT scores, recommendation letters, and personal statements. I always say if you feel like you're right on the cusp of those middle 50% averages, or if you feel that you need to explain a certain grade or academic year that you had, feel free to write to us in the form of a personal statement or submit those recommendation letters. And we definitely read everything that comes in with your application under your file. Now, in terms of deadlines, this is very important for all of my seniors in the room, as well as my juniors, because this information really hasn't changed much. But we do have two different deadlines at UNC Charlotte. One is early action and the other is regular decision. Both are non-binding, meaning you are not required to enroll with us if you are admitted during either of these cycles. However, for those who are, once again, just below those competitive ranges that I mentioned earlier, you definitely want to make sure that you apply for our early action. Now, obviously, November 1 has already passed. So for my seniors in the room, the next decision deadline would be our February 1 application deadline. So within 2 weeks of November 1 or February 1, students must turn in their application fee or fee waiver, the official transcript, as well as the essay. So the applications will be due by November 1 and February 1, respectively. So if you have any questions about that, please feel free to drop those in the chat. So I do want to highlight for you all just a few alternate ways that you all can be admitted as a student at UNC Charlotte. Many students right now in this day and age are taking college courses early during their high school career, which is awesome. So a lot of students will ask, well, do I apply as a transfer student or as a freshman student? So you all will still apply as a first year. And what we'll need from you is just to send us your college transcripts that details the courses that you've taken, and we'll credit those to your curriculums accordingly. So you'll still apply as a freshman and be eligible for all those first year scholarships as an early college student. Now, for those who feel like their application is not quite competitive or you're not ready to transition into the four-year setting right away, there is a transfer admissions requirement that I like to highlight for students. All you have to have is 24 hours of transferable credit, which is usually about a year at a college or a community college. Have a minimum of a 2.0 cumulative GPA that says C average in all of your classes. And we won't even look at high school performance at that point. So this is a great option for those students who are interested in saving up a little bit of money before you transition into the four-year setting, and for those who just need a little bit more time to adjust to that college setting. So another thing we like to highlight for students are the tuition and fees. We love talking about money. So for my in-state students, we do not have one bit sticker price at UNC Charlotte because we don't require our first years to stay on campus. I still highly recommend that you all take advantage of that opportunity because it's a great way to meet other students and just have that full college experience. But for those who are in